Welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it? I just blooped right off the earth. Didn't come back for a while. So, time to explain what I was doing. And if you've watched my videos and streams in the past, you probably know what I was doing. Now, recently, I came forward and said that I was going to go to California, and I did. Besides the politics of California, I enjoyed the trip. Absolutely love it. Would go back again. And I filmed a ton of footage. Now, I'm not gonna oh, ow, it just ran into the back of my table. I'm not gonna promise anything I'm going to say, okay? However, I will say, I will try to get the video posted to YouTube. I have like 200, 300 clips and videos to edit. So yeah. I went up the coast, I bought some pennies, I sorted through them, I brought the sorted ones back here. Absolutely enjoyed it. I actually got to fly for my first time. I've never flown onto a plane before the 11th. Or before the 12th. I absolutely enjoy it. I would fly any day of the week. So be it as I had enough money. I love planes now. You know, I want to react to this video I just saw. Memento, another box office disaster. I feel like I feel like all the movies that are released today are just done.
It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water, it's Fiji water.
How's the chicken? The prawns are delicious.
Oh my god.
One prawn, very good. Did I say chicken?
Not listening to what you want? The more we understand you, the better we can help you. That's what US Bank is for.
Yeah, spoilers alert for whoever.
Folks, I think it's safe to say that Pixar has been struggling. And it's really...
I think after Lightyear was released is where they kind of started to find a little bit of a trouble spot.
I mean that. Like, name one other company or studio or just anybody.
I'm not happy with that house yet.
Pixar led during the 2000s. It is unrivaled. Like, the best I can think of is maybe like the Disney Renaissance. And I'm even thinking out like outside of animation. When I'm thinking of like, you know, I guess the Harry Potter, you know, I'm like, I don't count that. That was a clear vision. Pixar was dropping hit after hit after hit of original content, original ideas and movies and stories that were critically acclaimed and financially juggernauts. They were unstoppable. Like, there's no wonder why we look at Pixar and say, you're one of the greatest of all time. Once. I said that in unjust. But I think it's also fair to say that Pixar stumbled this past,
I will admit, they did stumble.
They started to stumble in the 2010s. And they had their hits. They had some good ones like Inside Out, Coco. I thought Monsters University was pretty good. But then you have things like Brave wasn't that great in my opinion. I thought that Cars 2 wasn't that good. And it just never really seemed like they could ever recapture that glory era. And I'm going to talk about Pixar in a future video where I go more in depth with it. I'll actually have a script, so I know what I'm talking about, with resources and research and a sponsor, you know, of course. Oh, wait, there's a sponsor in this video. Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon.
I visited I visited so many brand new biomes, so many places, so many spots. I visited deserts, I visited forests, Redwood Forest. Homie, I visited the Redwood Forest. If you don't hear this video where I say, whoever goes to view the Redwood Forest, you're not ready for it. I'll say that. These trees are humongous. I mean, if they fell in your car, it's not like a tree where like it might dent your car or it might like crush a bit. No, if one of the old ones fall in your car, the car is like completely crushed. These trees are bigger than Minecraft trees. Like what's it called? If a tree was like this big, I found one that was around 24 feet across, right? This is the average width of a tree in Minecraft, right? 2 blocks. 24 feet to meters. That's a tree in Minecraft. This is one of the giant redwood trees in real life. These trees are absolutely humongous. Mojang, I doubt you've ever heard me any. I doubt you'll ever hear me. I will beg you, please, I beg, add redwood forests. Please. Okay, listen, in my defense, you've added mangrove trees and an entire swamp for them. You've added cherry saplings, an entire swamp, an entire biome for those too. If we can do those 2 biomes, everybody's happy. Redwoods. Make the Western American people happy. Add redwoods, please. Just build these. Imagine you walk in and you see these giant trees.
Sorry. But honestly, God, elements,
It's gonna take me a while to
water, ground, air. It's just things that we know. Everyone. It's very, very accessible. And I think that ended up being a bit of a detriment and a weird twist of fate for the marketing and the, I guess, concept being introduced to audiences and consumers for Pixar. Because, I'm surprised how many people online, and even friends of mine who are like, I don't care. This seems like just a novelty concept. What if elements, what emotions? And that's always been the thing for, like, the running joke with Pixar. Like, I saw this pop up in the 2010s where folks are like, Pixar, their formula is what if blank but emotions? What if toys but have emotions? What if fish? What if emotions had emotions, And I'm like, that's funny, I get it. But now it's starting to become a bit more obvious, where it's like, yeah, it's a very formulaic approach. And it's to say, like, because folks are like, well, you need emotions in your movie. Because Pixar's never made a terrible movie, all right? Even Cars 2. I know what a bad movie looks like, folks. Trust me. Look at my channel, and you would know that I'm an authority on that matter. Pixar's never made a terrible movie. They've made underwhelming films, and it's only amplified because they've made fantastic movies. But, like, that's the problem. It's Pixar's legacy, and how Pixar nowadays is trying to live up to it, and how it's been very difficult. There's also a lot of internal politics and issues. Can't ignore the mouse. Can't ignore, that jerk with Lasseter. It's just tough. They're in tough waters right now. And if anything, Elemental is kind of being thrown under the bus. And it's a shame because the movie's not bad, as I'll talk about here now because I'm just kind of ranting now. I will say this, though. The box office projections for Elemental do not look good. This movie costs more than both Spider-Verse 2 and the Mario movie combined.
Whoa.
Elemental cost $200 million to make.
Woo!
I think this was the projection.
That's expensive for it. Even an animated film, too.
That's bad.
Woo!
It's not good.
That's a lot of money.
Really
And a fifth of a bill?
Theatrical releases.
Man, you could buy a few Apache attack helicopters with that money. You could buy so many Gris Vectors. You could probably buy the ingredients to build nukes with that money. Or a few of them at least. You could buy an entire private airplane. That is a lot of... You really don't want to mess up there. Ugh.
But because of streaming, because of Disney, there's also like that conspiracy theory of folks saying like it's Disney sabotaging Pixar. I don't believe that, because that would work against Disney's, like shareholders and making money. Why would you do that to yourself? But like as far as this being a very expensive project that's not clicking, whether it's because of the marketing, lack thereof, or maybe this is just a concept folks just aren't clicking with. That seems to be a very common thing right now. I've been noticing where people are just like, meh, I'm good, I don't care. Which wasn't the case for Turning Red.
I will say, I watched both Turning Red and Strange World I watched them and judged them unbiasedly. Honestly, I think Strange World was kind of a little bit repetitive, and I was bored of Turning Red. I couldn't really do it. I will say, it's sorry. Unbiased, I have to say that the movie was boring. I can't watch it again. It just... nothing.
afterwards, and folks were just kind of like meh to that as well, including myself. I thought Lightyear was a big letdown. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey for Pixar ever since like Toy Story 4. But I digress. I'll talk about this another time. By the way, spoilers going into this. If you want to avoid spoilers, then don't watch this video.
Yeah.
But I will say that I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was a good film. I thought it was better than Luca and Soul, and definitely better than Onward. Much better than Lightyear. It's one of the better films that come from Pixar as of late. And my expectations, though, were low, so I can't discount that. You know, I went
Maybe
to
I
see
can.
it.
I'm gonna see if I
I'm
can
like, my expectations are high. and they
put
were
the
met.
lights
Horror
on
movie. My
top.
expectations were low, and I was whelmed. Though, after the fact, it was kind of like, that was really just a very, very plain, generic, average movie. But who would have guessed? It's Illumination, of course. For Elemental, I went into it, I'm
Oh
like,
my
is this
god.
gonna be good? Oh man, everyone else is saying it's gonna be bad. Okay, here we go. Watched it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's solid. But it was definitely a Pixar film. You know, watching it, I'm like, yep, this is a Pixar movie. It hits all the bingo, points. How do you play bingo? I don't even know. It got my bingo card. It's like family issues, check. Introspective emotional turmoil, check. Taking some fictional lens and applying a very humanizing storytelling element to it, check. Pixar. And it's a formula that has worked, and it's not a bad formula. I think it's just that it's getting kind of derivative.
Repetitive?
I think it's because people are growing up and cultures shift and the landscape is changing and Pixar needs to shift with it. But I digress. All right, so my big thing about this film is asking myself, how does this world work? All right, I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, it's like a Zootopia, but with elements. Because I remember watching Zootopia, and I'm like, how does this world work? In Zootopia, with Disney Animation, those folks went above and beyond to explain the world. Like, there's even an entire intro sequence where they're like, you got Judy Hopps going through
I love that movie. That's a good movie. That's like Forensic Files, but wrapped up into a Disney movie.
For different animals and all the
And a lot more kid appropriate.
The degree the city goes to help accommodate this and make it work. And I'm like, that's a lot of cool.
Yeah, I liked watching that movie and just looking at the engineering aspects of it. I am an enthusiast engineer person.
But I'm like, you know what? You've done enough homework and enough effort to make me believe this. Let's go. But for Elemental, I'm like, wait. It sounds like water can just straight up kill fire, like just die. And there's a part of the city where there's like a water train that goes over Firetown, and the water just blasts off the side of the train tracks. And I'm like, that could kill people. That's a lawsuit. How is there not some class action lawsuit right now? The synopsis of the film, like its concept and its premise, it doesn't really make sense to me. Because it's like, okay, how does the city work? How are not people dying every second because of how elements don't really mix that well? And I know that's kind of like the point of the movie, like the metaphor, fire and water don't mix. Let's take that lens and apply it to human culture and stereotypes and bigotry, where like the fire people are like, it's like Koreans. Because the director of this movie, Peter Sohn, he directed Good Dinosaur. He's worked at Pixar for 23 years.
Some mornings call for a breakfast taco from Dunkin'. Scrambled eggs,
So-
cheddar cheese, fire roasted corn, and lime crema to get you going. Bacon. But some mornings call for 2 breakfast tacos. Oh,
This is a very personal story for him because he's a Korean immigrant. His parents were the first generation that went to New York and set up shop there. And this is a very much so part of his story and his very personal life. And I really respect that. I appreciate that. It's also really sad because his parents died during the production of this movie. And it's like, oh, that's
That
really
sucks.
bitter. There's a bittersweet, beautiful sadness to it. And Peter, like, did a good job. Like, Peter's a good creator. I just feel like sometimes it's just like the climate of Pixar right now isn't working to his favor. And a lot of folks are taking this compounded frustration with Pixar and just dumping it on Elemental. But hey, I think there's layers to peel back for that and ask why. I digress. Again, I'm sorry. I'm just reading off bullet points here, folks, by the way. I'm stupid. But yeah, the entire logistics of the city, how it works, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm constantly questioning it. How does fire not burn down everything? There's a scene where like Ember and her father, it's a flashback, they're trying to go into like some kind of like exhibit to see a flower, and like they're like, you can't come in here, you'll burn everything down. And they're like, you can't do that, this is discrimination. And I'm like, well,
Oh, hey. Oh, wait. You're here. Woo! What a... Layout party. I have a party. Are you online? Sorry. Yeah, let you restart.
Fire, you're actively destructive. I actually don't even know how you're walking and not burning the road. Like,
I wonder if
that's something that
I
kind
wonder
of
why most
really
films fail
wrong.
these days. It's just
How
kind
does
of odd to
fire-
me.
Fire is it hurts if you touch it, and it can be destructive. And to take that as a conduit and then say it's like a Korean immigrated family, that's what it's like. I'm just kind of like, oh, that's an interesting way of putting it, because like humans are humans, but fire and water are like, physically speaking, you know, of course, very different. They're completely different. So I just kind of felt this really weird, like, I see what you're getting at, movie, with your themes. I see what you're trying to do with your metaphors and your allegories, but it's just kind of weird to me, and I just don't know if it makes much sense in the grand scheme. It works, I guess, at the end, you know, when they stick the landing, but to me, I'm like, it feels almost like there's too much of a divide, being like, people are profoundly different, almost to the point of fire and water. They can't even mix, and I'm like, okay, but we're humans. All of us are humans. We actually can mix. Actually, if anything, reality's worse because we humans don't have much of an excuse. We're just assholes. But just logistically, the fire walking around, I'm like, yeah, you burn everything down. I can kind of understand why you need your own corner of the city to survive. And so much of this is paying homage, and it's based on like immigrant families, like Koreans who come over. Because that's what happened for Peter. His family.
I didn't invite you.
Korea during a very turbulent time in that country. A lot of folks did. Came to America looking for possibilities, looking for hopes, and just a chance to build a life that's safer. And how there's a lot of discrimination in that process where.
Here, I'm inviting you right now. There we go. Nice. It's okay. Trust me. I've already gotten some brand new. I've already gotten some netherrack upgrades. Just look for the treasure rooms, like the big chest. There's like, you know where you find the double chest sometimes, and they've got like tons of loot. Just find those, and you should be okay. Just dig, destroy the place, rip it up like you literally are trying to look for something in your room, and you'll be good. So I Wednesday. Can I guess, modern trader? Hmm. I went to the Nether, like it's called. I was getting books from my iPad account. I got all the books, all the mending books from fishing. I got that. I got double that in that time, but I had looting 3. I had like 6 heads. Have you ever been on a jet? I feel like I have. Oh my god. If you ever get the chance, don't deny it. It's actually pretty good. Like coming from like an airplane. Oh yeah, it's like ecstasy. Oh my god. 9, where is it? She loaded? Good. I visited my mom's friend, and she has a baby, she has a baby, retriever. And it's so cute. That's good to know. Now, you want to like play like right? You want to like continue playing your world, or do you want to like play with me on my Spot World privately, or if you want to, we can. Hold on. Man, I like what's called. Yeah, I visited a baby retriever puppy. His name was Ollie. He was the cutest little booger I've ever freaking seen. I love Ollie so much. The Mint. Oh yeah, I visited it and it's mighty. Oh, I saw that. There was like there's these people that found a ton of penny. Yeah, I saw that too. Like they found like a stupid ton of pennies. If it was like if it was like Wheaties, if they found like that much Wheaties, whatever that value of pennies are, triple it and that's their money. Spotify is free, but if you pay $10 a month, you get no ads and you get unlimited skips. And you can download. There's always piracy. You don't know what. You have to have an account, like a Google account, and attach it. However, I will give you a little tip with Spotify. If you click on another song before the one you're listening to ends, it won't give you an ad most of the time. But if you skip it, it will give you an ad. And by the way, there are a ton of Subarus at California, even some red ones. There's tons of Crosstreks. There are tons of Outbacks. There are a ton of them. I mean, my mom counted, like, we went from, like, I think, like, this one hotel, and she counted at least, God, I don't even know how many. She counted like 400 when we went from one place to another. Oh, and that I also saw beaches, and oh my god, this road we were driving on, if you didn't pay attention to this road, you would go off like a 300-meter drop. Imagine like 300 blocks. But like, by the way, like when I'm saying nothing separates this road, like there's nothing. If you like drive off, you're done. If you go like above 3 miles an hour, it's a game over for you. And I saw trees, the redwoods. Oh my god, there's one tree that's wider than any tree in Minecraft. There's one that's the equivalent of 7 blocks wide. It is a big tree. Like, I'm saying, like, this thing, if it fell on a semi-truck, it would crush it completely. This tree was an estimated 1,800 years old. It was an old tree. Like, you can tell it's been standing there for absolute years. You know what? If you wanted to, I can exit, and I can also go to your, I could go to your world. You could either play on my private world, or we could probably play Terraria. Yeah, sorry, I'm quit.